AI is going to take your job. Don't worry though, because you don't really like your job, do you? And by the time you're sick of not having a job, you're down to your last tin of beans and you're beginning to wonder whether baked beans actually count as a balanced diet. There'll probably be a brand new job that nobody's even thought of yet. Then, once you've finally got good at that one, history suggests we'll automate that as well. That's just what we do. The steam engine didn't just replace people. It also burnt and scalded quite a few of them first. Then everyone realised there's only so many people who can stand around admiring a steam engine before somebody eventually asks, what do we do now? So entire industries appeared. Not because humanity suddenly became more ambitious, but because we had more time to invest in increasingly bizarre ways of occupying ourselves. Some people say the rich invent jobs to keep the poor busy. I'm less cynical. I think humanity has always been trying to answer the same question. What do we do now? Go back far enough and everyone's daily to-do list looked something a little like this. Don't die, find food, find somewhere dry to sleep. Congratulations, you've had a productive Tuesday. Fast forward a few thousand years and people reach into their pockets, pull out little glass crotch slabs containing more computing power than was used to put humanity on another celestial body, then spend 6 hours absent-mindedly rubbing them while consuming an endless stream of quasi-informative entertainment, carefully tailored to whatever flavour of addiction suits them that particular Tuesday. Progress is a funny thing. Tuesdays, on the other hand, seem to be eternal. AI has now arrived to help us do exactly the same thing, only much more efficiently. Whether it actually makes us more productive is still very much up for debate. If I spend 60 seconds scratching my balls but discover an efficiency gain of 50%, I've reduced the task to 30 seconds. But I'm still just scratching my balls. Whether companies will ever earn enough money to justify the spending that they're making, which is billions, it's very much up for debate. What's no longer up for debate is it works. It does all the things that someone normally does sitting on their bum in front of a computer. It occasionally gets things spectacularly wrong. And perhaps most importantly, it generates twaddle at industrial scale, which is fortunate because humanity has demonstrated an almost limitless appetite for consuming twaddle. The challenge isn't generating content anymore. The challenge is being seen. The challenge is creating something people believe required more than pressing a button. Originality, judgment, trust. Those suddenly become far more valuable than simply producing another 1,000 words that nobody asked for. Anyway, I digress. To a lot of people, AI is finally having an expert that can reliably tell them how long to boil an egg without scrolling through 12 recipe websites and someone's life story about their grandmother's saucepan. They still don't really appreciate the scale of what's happening. Meanwhile, over in the investment world, everyone suddenly became an expert on GPUs, then memory, then storage, data centers, power, then even industrial floor cleaners specifically designed for the slatted floors inside data centers. Which was a little unfortunate for the true connoisseurs of technology, who'd quietly spent the last 30 years actually being experts on those things. Those poor sods simply wanted to escape into fantasy worlds at an acceptable frame rate, without discovering the graphics card they'd been saving for now cost about the same as a respectable second-hand family hatchback. Let's just hope AI never develops an unhealthy obsession with gaming monitors. Then there may genuinely be an uprising. The funny thing is, GPUs aren't actually the interesting bit. They're just the celebrity. The real interesting parts are the boring bits. Memory, networking, cooling, power distribution, transformers, fiber optics, substations, oh, you get the point. Things that, until recently, only a tiny group of engineers got excited about. Now they're worth billions. Because AI isn't really a software story, it's a supply chain story. Every company wants intelligence. But before you get that intelligence, you need electricity, you need silicon, you need memory, you need cooling, you need fiber. Every bottleneck simply creates another bottleneck. Lots of people say AI is a bubble. Take railways, electricity, the internet. The technology wasn't fake. The difficult bit was pricing the future before it arrived. And that's where we are now. The first wave of AI isn't replacing intelligence, it's replacing the market value of average intelligence. When something becomes abundant, we stop paying a premium for it. I'm looking at you, Jerry the accountant. The real product AI creates isn't intelligence. It's abundance. And abundance has this funny habit of making yesterday's valuable skills feel ordinary. Which means scarce things become something else. Your judgment, taste, experience, original thoughts. Ultimately, being an accountable decision maker. Those might turn out to be worth far more than simply knowing the answer. So yes, AI may well take your job, or perhaps it'll simply make you dramatically more efficient at being inefficient at it. Even if it does, it'll probably create another one somewhere. And if history continues doing what history rather enjoys doing, it will be automated and you'll be doing something else different before you know it. So, maybe it's the wrong thing to worry about. Maybe instead of asking, what job will AI leave me with, we should be asking, what actually matters once all the jobs keep changing? After all, humanity's checklist hasn't changed that much. Are you warm? Are you dry? Have you got enough to eat? Somewhere to sleep? People you care about are okay? And everything else, it's mostly gravy? We've become astonishingly good at creating complexity. Perhaps AI's greatest gift won't be making life more complicated, but reminding us which parts were already simple. Everything else, it's just another Tuesday.